Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Friday, March 5th, 2021, and I am Michelle Grimolia, the President and CEO here at Woodland Pond at New Paltz. I have a number of items that I'd like to go through today that are just a lot of update type items. Most of this is going to be covered in the Chanticleer today. So if you could plan on reading your Chanticleer when it comes out, it'll come out in paper copy today, and we will also issue it electronically. So if you happen to miss what we cover today, right now, you can, of course, see it again at 8 p.m. today on channel 1340. You can catch this broadcast on our YouTube channel, and this will be followed with a paper version of most of the announcements in our Chanticleer. So in no particular order, the first thing that I'd like to just mention is that as we have begun to reopen and re-engage with the community, we are partnering again with the family of New Paltz, or the organization that's known as Family, that provides support services to displaced persons and persons in need, particularly in domestic violence situations. And there's a box in the mailroom that will collect items that are for personal care if you'd like to make a donation. You'll see a list of the things in the Chanticleer, but they really need such things as deodorant, toothpaste, dental care items, feminine products, shaving products, paper towels, toilet paper, those kinds of things. So if you have unused, unopened items that you'd like to donate to Family, that's one way that we can certainly help. And I know that everybody has a spirit of generosity, so you can go ahead and do that. Let's see, the next thing that I'll just mention, again, everything's in kind of no particular order today. I'll just go through some of the reopening type activities for independent living. We're continuing to see not a ton of participation in our in-person fitness classes. I want to again reiterate that you should feel comfortable coming out. We've got plenty of safety measures, screening, disinfecting. We really want to see everyone kind of coming to these different events that we're offering. We are in the process right now of identifying candidates or opportunities for replacing the services that Kim Colbell, our former wellness and fitness coordinator, were providing. But we need to know that there's going to be an interest in in-person classes resuming. The last thing we want to do is bring someone, excitedly on board to only have no one attend the classes. So, initially we had said try to only pick one class per day, but right now we're only having 2 or 3 people coming to the classes. So please do look at the fitness classes, and if you're interested in coming, please do attend in person. That's the kind of thing that's going to give us a sense as to whether or not we need to expand offerings, invest in further, opportunities. So if you have any questions or concerns about whether or not it's safe for you to participate, as I said, Tuesday, you can contact mainly Mary Jo would be a great contact for you, Sarah or myself, and we can help you through any hurdles or concerns that you might be having related to coming back and participating in in-person activities. With the, we do need additional delivery deputies. We've got a number of people signed up, but we could use more as we look at starting seated dining in the dining room on Monday the 15th. We're definitely going to need to pull our wait staff back into the dining room to actually wait on people. So we would love to have as many residents as possible on our delivery deputy list. As I said, Tuesday, this is a fantastic way for you to get out of your cottage or apartment, get out and get to know your neighbors, see people, etc. And we will pair you up, especially if you're a newer resident, so that you can learn the ropes and get to know people. But this is a great way to engage and feel like you're really contributing to this community that everybody loves so much. So if you're interested in becoming a delivery deputy, do please contact the concierge. Our menu offerings in independent living are still under construction. We're still, I think everyone knows that, or many know that Sodexo and our menu cycles work in 5-week cycles. So when we anticipated the revision to the dining offerings in the middle part of February. That was for a 5-week cycle. So we're still kind of cobbling together and manufacturing a modification of those 5 weeks of menus, because we heard loud and clear that everyone truly loves their room service. One of the things that we're working on now is figuring out how to resume offering a premium item each day. And if not before then, we do intend to have something available, sort of a more premium item on the menu each day for room service once we reopen the dining room on March 15th. So please bear with us with that. Just kind of hearkening back to where this all started, the intent was to have the premium items and the more varied items offered in the bistro in the evenings for you to come, grab, and go. But that was not a success. And although we were surprised by the fact that everyone has gotten really comfortable and used to the room service menus, we're pivoting from that. So please just continue to be patient with us. And please do remember there's lots of nice, hot, fresh options in the bistro every day from 12:30 to 2 p.m. Ronnie is looking at, in addition to all of the things that we're currently offering there, also bringing back some of the pub favorites, Taco Tuesdays, wings on Fridays in the bistro. So stay tuned for that, and some more changes coming with the dining room. And just on the dining room, we are poised to begin seated dining in the dining room with dinner service on Monday, the 15th of March. And we will begin taking reservations for that on the 8th of March. So just kind of keep that in mind. You'll be able to make those reservations to have up to 4 people at a table. 4 will be the max, and you will need to make reservations. We'll be capped at, I think, 28 or 30 seats based on the capacity limits and what we feel comfortable with initially for that 5 p.m. seating each night. But certainly if we have greater interest, and I really hope that we do, we will certainly add seatings and capacity. Let's see. A number of you have asked questions about what has changed or what we're recommending related to going off campus and riding with others in cars. And the answer to that is nothing has changed. We very strongly recommend that you do not go off campus unless you're driving yourself, you're riding with us on prearranged transportation, or you're riding with your significant other that lives with you or your approved companion. Cars and vehicles remain the highest risk to everyone in terms of spreading a potential virus of any sort, especially COVID, because even with a mask on, being in a personal vehicle, there's no way to be more than 6 feet away from each other. And the air is just circulating in there, and most people do not sanitize their vehicles. So we strongly recommend that you do not carpool with each other. Even if you're vaccinated, you can still carry this virus, and we know that to be true. We can still transmit it. You can still pick it up. So no, you shouldn't be, in my opinion, catching rides with each other and so forth. Everyone has to assume their own risk profile, and we don't police these kinds of things. But having been asked, our recommendation and our advice, nothing has changed in that regard. This virus is still exceedingly prevalent in Ulster County. New variants are coming out. So I would say if you really feel like you need to get off campus, then we are providing transportation into town on our vehicles. We're also providing medical transportation. Call us first and we'll see what we can do. But there's just no way to really safely distance in a personal vehicle. So I would continue to recommend not sharing rides with somebody that lives outside of your household or is an approved caregiver. On medical transportation, Jason has asked that I remind you that we absolutely have to have at least 72 hours notice for any medical transportation, and we can't make any exceptions to that. We have very limited availability on the buses because of needing to have infection control, safe distancing, and so forth. So we're running all 3 buses all the time. So we're able to accommodate appointments, but because of the logistics, we absolutely have to have 72 hours notice. So if you run into a situation where you have an emergency need for a medical appointment, we will provide you recommendations about how to get other types of transport, which may be a taxi, which would then prompt you to need to be quarantined, quite frankly, because riding in a taxi is extremely high risk. Taxi drivers are with tons of people. But knowing and scheduling your appointments, first of all, making sure that they're absolutely medically necessary is critical. We're still in the same place where we were in terms of, no one should be engaging with the public unless they absolutely have to at this point. The public is largely not vaccinated. This virus is still kind of everywhere. So none of those recommendations have changed. But if you do have an absolutely critical medically necessary appointment, we need that 72 hours notice before we can schedule that. So please do not be disappointed or surprised if you call us today for an appointment tomorrow and we can't accommodate it. It's just, we're working within the parameters that we have, and we need everyone to make sure that they're calling us with that 72 hours notice. We are beginning with movies again in the evenings in the PAC, and that is the one event that you are going to need to screen prior to attending that event at the concierge, because our screeners at the PAC hallway are not there in the evening time. So if you do attend any of the evening showings of any of our movies or events, you will need to come to the PAC to have your temperature, you'll have to come to the concierge to have your temperature taken and answer questions about whether or not you've got symptoms of any illness. So if you're going into the PAC for an evening movie, please stop at the concierge first. They will screen you, take your temperature, and then send you along to the PAC to enjoy the movie. We are really trying to get this traffic safety committee subcommittee off the ground, and we very much are again seeking volunteers. You'll see a note in the Chanticleer that we have a known safety issue on campus related to the use of the roadways, pedestrian traffic, and the use of power mobility devices, both in the building and outdoors. And all of those things fall into a category of traffic and pedestrian safety. And our leadership team, the residents council, and the plant ops committee want to get together with residents to really formulate safety plans related to those areas, so that we can identify the safest routes to utilize on our roadways, potential modifications of traffic flow patterns, potential changes to signage, and certainly to review our power mobility device policies and protocols. We have had far too many near misses with pedestrians, with people in power mobility devices, in parking lots, in the building, on sidewalks. We really need to establish a safety culture as it relates to walking, rollerblading, riding your bikes, using your power mobility devices, speed on campus. And we very much want to have resident engagement in this. So if you're at all interested in this topic, we're looking for somewhere between we would ideally like to have 5 to 7 residents involved, and then we'll have a complement of management representation so that we can really concretely address these very significant risks that are on campus. We ideally would like to reduce near misses to no misses. And if you'd like to sign up for that traffic safety committee, we're going to pull from a lottery. Please sign up by Monday with concierge. And if you've already signed up in the past, please sign up again, because we're going to look at the newest interest and just make sure that the people that were interested at one point are still interested now. So please leave your name with concierge on that. You'll see a note in the Chanticleer that with the spring comes ants, pests, beetles, spiders, those kinds of things. They come out of their, winter hunkering down, I guess, mice, so forth, snakes. All of these things tie together on campus. If you have any issues with any pests, you have to leave your embarrassment or maybe shame at the door. We absolutely have to attend to these things. We have an exterminator, a professional exterminator that comes in twice a month. And we have our team that can also do immediate pest control. So we can't take any chances of any kind of pests on campus. So if you have any kind of an infestation, a small outbreak of anything, whether it be ladybugs or ants or something worse, please call concierge right away. Those problems can escalate really quickly, and please pay attention to your garbage pails and countertops. You shouldn't be leaving out food or fruit that's rotting or getting too ripe. Your garbage pail should be getting emptied regularly. If you're finding that it takes you a whole week to fill your garbage pail, and then you have food that's starting to smell or attract any kind of fruit flies or anything, I would highly recommend getting a much smaller garbage pail with smaller bags, so that it fills up, you tie the bag and get rid of it before it's waiting a whole week with potentially food that's attracting pests. None of us want that, and we need all of your help with that. We have got a number of opportunities also happening in the health center. The health center right now is the one part on campus where we are welcoming visitors from the outside. So if you are a resident of the health center, I'm hoping that you're engaging and encouraging your loved ones to come visit. We've got lots of visiting opportunities, lots of slots. So if you could please just make sure that you're letting your folks and your loved ones know when they call that they can visit. We're welcoming everyone to campus 7 days a week in the health center. So that's skilled nursing, assisted living, and memory care, Garden View. You can call the receptionist at 845-256-5910 for information on appointments and what's necessary for scheduling those. We are also beginning a variety of small group activities in the health center. So that is just like independent living in that way. You're going to expect to see more of that coordinated through our activities department in the health center. And we're really, again, still watching closely to see what, if anything, changes at the Department of Health and governor's executive orders to allow for even more. But we are getting there. So lots of exciting stuff going on sort of all around campus. Let's see. Okay, just a couple more things. We've had no new COVID counts on campus. We did have one independent living staff member that had tested positive almost 2 weeks ago now. He is doing fine. He will retest, and with a negative test will be able to be brought back onto the schedule next week. So we're continuing our regular routine testing, and that's going really well for us, and no new reportable cases. We'll always keep you posted with that information. We did, unfortunately, have another situation with an independent living resident this week that was actually taken advantage of with another fraud situation. Very similar to the situation that happened a few weeks ago. So this person received a phone call that their banking institution had, discovered an issue of fraud, and this person, took that as a serious phone call, and then allowed that company to log into their computer and into their banking information. We were able to, because a resident technology assistant, Cassidy, was here, she was able to go quickly to that resident's home and try to mitigate risk. It is our understanding at this point that assets were not fraudulently taken. But I have to look into this camera and say to everyone, please do not accept phone calls from anyone telling you that there is fraud on any of your accounts. If someone calls and says, "Hi, Michelle, I'm calling from Wells Fargo fraud department, and we've got a fraud on your account," what you should do is hang up the phone. Just hang up. Go to your filing cabinet or to your wallet. Pull out a Wells Fargo bill from your filing cabinet or your credit card if it's from your credit card, and then you call the phone number that's found on that statement or that credit card. You initiate the phone call. Never, ever, ever accept a phone call that comes into you that says, "I'm investigating a fraud," because chances are that is fraudulent. So listen to what they said. If they said they're calling from Wells Fargo, hang up on them. They won't care. It's not rude. Just hang up on them. Go to your filing cabinet, find your Wells Fargo bill and then call Wells Fargo and say, hi, this is Michelle. I just got a call that said that there was fraudulent activity on my account. Is this accurate? And they're probably going to say no, but you have to take the initiative to never, ever, ever give your information out over the phone. They sound so legitimate, but they're not going to call you that way. You will have the responsibility and the ability to protect yourself by hanging up and then going and finding your own source material to follow up. This exact thing happened to me this week. I received a text to my cell phone stating that my Wells Fargo account had been, that there's a fraudulent activity on that. And my Wells Fargo account doesn't have any assets in it. It's just our mortgage. So I went to my Wells Fargo bill and called and said, I just got this text from this phone number and it said that I had fraudulent activity on my account. Can you verify that? And they said, we never sent the text, delete it immediately. It's not true. It's fraudulent. So many of you have told me that in the last several weeks that you've gotten calls from Amazon telling you that you've had fraudulent activity. Never take the calls. Please just hang up and go to your source document and call the 800 numbers that are listed on your actual credit cards or your statements that you have in your filing cabinets. It's the only way to ensure that you're calling the right place, that you're not getting trapped in a fraud. Hang up, let things go to your voicemail. We have to protect ourselves. And these fraudsters are so persistent. We can't keep having these near misses at Woodland Pond. If you have questions at all about a transaction that has happened, call concierge right away. They will direct you or direct your call to one of us and we will help you. But please just be skeptical of every single phone call that you get, every single text message, every email. These fraudsters want your money and they are going to do everything that they can to get it. So please just be cautious. And then just one final note on that. A number of you have gotten phone calls from our Universal Administrative Assistant, Crystal. She's working on a project to make sure that we have updated vehicle information on everyone on campus. So license plates, makes and models of vehicles, et cetera. So a lot of you have skeptically said to Crystal, I don't know that you're really calling from Woodland Pond, which is great. You're protecting yourselves. But Crystal is approved and she is calling and she's just updating our records on the makes and models of everyone's vehicles. So I hope that you're all well. I hope that you all get out and enjoy the sunshine every day now. And I will talk to you all on Tuesday. Thanks.